Hello and welcome to Indigo Vibes and Yoga. I'm your teacher, Chelsea Fox. I'm going to be guiding you through an awesome yoga practice today. This is my buddy Drake. He loves to do yoga with me. As you see, he's a master of down dog. So today as we go through this practice, we're going to infuse mindfulness plus a physical practice of vinyasa flow. If you're a beginner to yoga, please remember to take your time, and if you at any point feel tired or dizzy or just need to take a breather, please do so. Come as you are to this practice. But we are going to go slow. This is a beginner flow. Before I start any practice, I like to draw a few oracle cards. Today I'm using my Goddess Guidance cards. So these are all mythology goddesses and goddesses of history. You can pick up any deck that suits you, or if that's not something you enjoy, you could pull a motivational quote, or you could read your favorite Bible verse beforehand. And the point of this is to set your mindset on a course for your yoga practice, to make it a mind and body experience versus just a physical practice. So I'm just going to draw one card. And the card is, I hope I say this right, Pieli, Divine Passion. Be honest with yourself. What is your heart's true desires? So as you go through your practice, you can chant to yourself Divine Passion. You can ask to see honesty within yourself. And I did pronounce it wrong. It is called Pele. She is the Hawaiian goddess of volcanoes. Pele's dynamic strength is sometimes misunderstood. She shows us that fire can purify, release us from the old way for the new age, and ignite our passions. Without fire, nothing would change. Call upon Pele to help you get in touch with your true passion and to charge up your motivation and excitement. Pele will help you feel everything on a deeper level. So be unafraid and take action to manifest your heart's desires. So I would say today's practice mindset would be to take risks, find your true desire, and soak up the heat of action, which I find beautiful and perfect for a vinyasa practice due to the fact that as you flow, you will feel that heat starting to ignite within yourself from that movement. You're going to be breathing deeply as you move from one pose to the next, and that breath will ignite heat within yourself and fill you with energy. So let's begin. We're going to use a chin mudra of taking our thumb and our first finger. So you're making that OK symbol, but you're covering the top of that knuckle of the first finger. And you can sit with your feet crossed like mine. If you have better hip flexibility and would like to sit with the bottoms of your feet together, you may. As you can see, when I put my feet together, I have to move my feet out in front of me because pulling them in here is very hard for me to stay comfortable for a few moments. You may also have very tight hip flexors and may want to put a few books or a blanket underneath of your butt. And that will prop you up a bit and take some tension off of the hip flexors to hold you erect in a seated position. I am going to sit cross-legged, and this is my yoga cat. His name is Mac. And I'm actually working on opening the hips, so I'm trying not to sit super crossed. I'm actually trying to sit a little bit more open. So those are the variations of how you can move through your practice. I'm a big believer of coming as you are and being completely compassionate with yourself to be exactly where you are. So again, that chin mudra, placing the hands on the knees, and let's sink in and think about just Pele's message of being in tune with action and fire and finding your true passion. Begin to breathe deeper by breathing in on a count of 1, 2, holding 1, and exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in again, 2, hold it, and exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Continue this breath pattern on your own for 3 or 4 breaths. It's okay if your breath is audible. You're doing this at home. There's no one else to hear you breathe. Beautiful. One big inhale, bringing those arms up above the head. And exhale down to heart center. Oh, that feels so good. Inhale, raise again. And exhale, leaning over to the one side, dropping the hand down, extending above the body. And inhale, rising up. And exhale as you lean over to the other side. And inhale, coming back to center. We're going to breathe in. And as you exhale, you're going to open and twist, sitting up nice and straight. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, open to the other side. And inhale, rise up. And exhale, hands to heart center. If you have a yoga strap, this would be the time to grab it. If you do not have a yoga strap, feel free to pause me and go grab a kitchen towel. It'll work just as well. So roll onto your back. Excuse me, I need my mat. Sometimes when you yoga with dogs, they think your mat is theirs. Now go ahead and roll onto your back, putting your strap around the bottom of your foot. Legs straight up, toes flexed. Hold it there. Now, if your leg can't be straight at that angle from the hip, it's better that you're down here with a straight leg and a flexed foot. Not a locked kneecap, but just a straight leg. And you'll find yourself, once that, if your hamstrings are very tight, that it'll open up and you'll eventually be able to be straight up from the hip. And go ahead and make circles with your foot. And go the other way. All the while keeping that foot flexed. Good job. Find stillness again with that leg straight up, hanging onto the strap. And open that leg out to the side. As you open the leg out to the side, try not to let that opposite hip roll with you. So you're not doing this. Try to keep that opposite hip on the ground and the hips planted firmly. Again, your leg may only comfortably open to here. It may not be able to open and sink down to here yet. Okay, be compassionate for where you are in this practice. And bring that leg up, straighten the bottom leg, and you're taking this top leg across. You may feel this along the side of the leg. You're keeping the shoulders down. This is a great IT band stretch and reducing pain in your sciatic nerve. Breathe in. Lovely. Keep that nice deep breath going. And bring that leg straight back up. Bend the bottom one again. Cross your legs like you're sitting in a chair. This isn't a figure four, but cross your legs like you're sitting in a chair. Those arms are out to the side. I move my hips to the right a little bit just to create space so I can drop the knees to the left side. The same way you just took that leg across the body. And this you should feel up here in your lower back. It should be nice and gentle. If at all it feels painful, come out gently. And inhale, bringing those legs back up, readjusting the hips, untwisting yourself, and hugging those knees into the chest. Rock gently side to side. And as you do, you may notice that the left side of the pelvis still feels bumpy and has knots in the muscles. And notice that the right side feels open and released. And go ahead and release your feet back down to the ground. You're going to now put the strap around the opposite foot of whichever one you just started with. And we are going to straighten it up to the sky. Same as before, flex that foot. If you need to be here to have a straight leg, please be there. Do not try to push yourself farther. And go ahead and make circles. And go the other way. And find stillness again with that leg. Breathe deep and exhale. And open that leg out to the side. As you can see, I'm keeping the opposite hip down. And bring that leg straight up. Release the bottom leg and take it across. And keeping that opposite shoulder on the ground. As I twist across the body. Breathing is important because as you breathe and then you exhale, you release that muscle tension. Mentally feel that muscle tension melting out of the body, evaporating like sweat. And exhale. And bring that top leg up. Bend the bottom again. Cross it over like you're sitting in a chair. Hips over, dropping everything to the same side you were just at. And release, bringing everything up, uncrossing the legs, hugging those knees into the chest. You can rock side to side if you want. Go ahead and return those feet to the ground. Stretch everything out. Take your hands above your head. Feel that spine get nice and long. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Big inhale. And as you exhale, draw yourself up into a small abdominal crunch. And inhale and release. Exhale. Big inhale. Exhale and moving up. And release. Inhale. Exhale, drawing up. And release. Beautiful. Stretch it out. Flex those feet. Wiggle the fingers. Roll the ankles. Roll the ankles the other way. And bend your knees once again. Roll onto one side and come all the way around to meet me on all fours. You can move your strap, take a drink, adjust your clothes, whatever you need to do, and meet me here on all fours. We're going to start with cat-cow, and this is a bending of the spine. We want to start our movement from our tailbone. So as you're here, you're going to tuck the tailbone, breathing out, grounding through the spine, tucking your chin into cat, and inhaling, starting with the butt as well, tipping the pelvis, inhaling, filling the belly, raising the head, arching the back. And exhale to cat. And inhale to cow. Keep going on your own. Two more. One more. Inhale. And neutral spine. Beautiful. Opening the knees, putting the bottoms of the big toes together, and sitting back into our child's pose. Inhale, coming up back to all fours. We are going to tuck the toes and sit back into hero pose with a toe stand. You could call it broken toes. I've heard teachers call it that. Not my favorite. I like hero pose with a toe stand. So this should be stretching the arches of your feet. It may be oddly painful. You can come out of it if you need to. And we're going to release. We're going to tuck those toes back under and sit back again into a regular hero pose. This should be stretching the front side of your feet this time around. And release again. We're going to tuck the toes once more and sit back, opening up the bottoms of the feet. And release. Untuck those toes, do it one last time. And release, coming forward back to all fours. And we're going to move into bird dog by lifting opposite hand and opposite leg. So as you lift, make sure you're flat across your back here and you don't tend to open up like this or do something cockeyed with your body. Keep yourself nice and flat. Arm out, belly button in. And release. Go to the other side. release. Go to the other side. And release one more time, last side. And release, open those knees, put the toes together, sit back, child's pose, sink in. Remember that message of Pele again. We're looking for our true divine passion. Breathe in using affirmations saying, I accept my divine passion. I am honored to step into my true passion, or show me my true passion. I am worthy of my passion. Inhale, rising up, back to all fours. Tuck those toes, push up, push back, down dog. As you get here, you can take a wider stance with your mat. That's a gentler down dog than putting your feet right together. You can put your feet closer together. You can bend your knees, stretching one leg at a time. With your shoulders and arms, your triceps are squeezed, or your inside of your arms are squeezing in together. You have your weight in your fingertips and not your wrists. By spreading those fingers out way out on the floor in front of you or the mat in front of you, not turning them out to the sides, but pointing them straight ahead. And find stillness with your down dog. Inhale, rising onto your toes. Exhaling, bending and looking forward. And from here, you can prepare to hop or simply just step forward into a crouch position. Exhale and straighten the legs. This is a forward fold. And inhale, rising up. And exhale, down the heart center. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, forward fold. Again, here you can keep softness in your knees. You don't have to lock them out. If this is your forward fold, that is so fine. You can do that. It's okay. You don't have to be here touching the floor the very first day. I am just your guide in this practice. You don't have to do exactly as I do. Inhale, coming to a halfway lift where our back is flat, our shoulders are rolled down the back and out of our ears. We breathe in, and we exhale, and forward fold once more. We're going to interlock the fingers, making an elephant trunk in front of us, coming over to one ankle and making a crescent circle or a half circle around our feet. And center. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Take a minute for your equilibrium to rebalance itself. You may get a little dizzy going from down, up, and back frequently in a vinyasa flow. So it's okay if you rise up out of a forward fold and need to take a few moments. Even if you're alone or in a class, always remember to come as you are and do what's best for you. As a teacher, we're just your guides, so remember that you can always call the shots. So let's inhale, rise up again, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Placing those hands on the ground, we're going to step, or you're welcome to hop if you feel like you want that extra energy, into a plank position. So our feet are flexed, energy is driving out of our toes, our belly button is to spine, our ribs are down, our chest is strong. Leaning forward, chaturanga, bending the arms slowly, lowering yourself to the ground, untucking the toes, placing the forearms down, pushing up into a cobra, and lowering. Hands are back by the chest, tuck the toes, push up, push back, down dog. Again, you can pedal your dog, moving those legs. And lift that right leg high behind you. Keep your shoulders forward and lower. And lift the other one. And lower. Inhale, coming to plank. Exhale, pushing to down dog. Inhale, rise onto your toes. Bend your knees and look forward. And you can step or hop to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful. Steady yourself there just a moment. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And stepping back. Leaning forward, chaturanga. And cobra. And release. Tuck those toes, push up, push back, down dog. Exhale, let it out. Again, lift that right leg nice and high behind you, keeping the shoulders forward, using that arm strength. Spread the fingertips, don't turn them out, just spread the fingertips. Push the energy and strength into the fingertips, not your wrists. And lower. And other side. And lower. Inhale, come to plank. Hold it here. Inhale, transition that down dog. Exhale. Raise those sit bones high to the sky. And inhale, raise onto your toes. Bend your knees and look. And step or hop to the front of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale, rise up. And exhale. All right, something a little different here. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, sink to chair. With chair, you don't want your butt too far out behind you. You still want to keep that spine in alignment. Weight is distributed evenly through your feet. Arms are up, breathe in. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Placing those hands on the mat, stepping back again into your plank position, leaning forward, chaturanga. And push up into up dog this time. Your thighs are off the ground. Your chest is completely up. Your shoulders are rolled down your back. And release. Tucking those toes. Push up, push back, down dog. Inhale, rise onto those toes, bend your knees and look forward, and step to the front of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Placing those hands on the mat, again, stepping back into our plank position. Leaning forward, chaturanga. And cobra or up dog, whatever you feel. And release. Tucking those toes, push up, push back, down dog. Inhale, coming to plank. Putting that right hand in the center, twisting open to side plank. Now you can stagger the feet or you can stack the feet, whichever you choose. If you're more advanced, you can lift the top leg, whatever you choose. Coming back down. And we're going to walk all the way through to side plank on the other side. And release, coming down, back to plank. And exhale, down dog. Inhale, rise onto your toes, bend your knees and look. Step or hop forward. Inhale, rise. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, rising up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Stepping back into that plank position again. Leaning forward, chaturanga. And pushing up. And releasing down. Tucking those toes, push up, push back, down dog. And lifting that left leg into three-legged dog. And release. Lifting the right. And release. Coming forward into that plank position again, nice and strong. Hand in the center, twisting over to our side plank. Again, you can lift that top foot if you desire, or keep it on the ground, have a staggered stance. If you even need to, you can do this. And coming all the way through to the other side. And back down. Taking it to down dog. And inhale, coming forward back to that plank position. Dropping those knees, opening the toes, and sitting back to child's pose again. Just relax. Inhale, coming back up to all fours and coming all the way around onto your bum. Yes, your bum. I said bum. Tuck your left leg in, straighten the right leg out. And the first time we're going to go over to the side, we are going to try to keep the chest open and find the stretch here in the side. On your lower back, you have two muscles that run parallel to your spine that tip your spine back and forward in that lumbar region. And from sitting at a desk, hunching and leaning forward, we exaggerate that curve and we can make those muscles very sore. So this stretch is designed to open that space. So reaching for the foot, you can grab that strap again, wrap it around the foot and hold on to it if you cannot reach your toes. If you can only reach your ankles, that's fine. The emphasis is not on reaching the foot. The emphasis is on staying open in the chest. And as you lean over, taking that arm above the head, you're keeping that chest broad and open. You're not doing this. We're staying here. You may need to just do this. This could be enough for you. This could be enough for you. I'm so sore from running yesterday. I feel it wherever I put my arm. Just leaning over creates that for me. We're eventually wanting to be able to go all the way toward where we could grab our foot. I can't quite do that yet. So we'll all grow together. And just breathe in, let that open up, keeping that opposite knee, this one here, on the ground as best you can. Basically, just don't let it hike up with you, defeats your purpose. And inhale, rising up. Ooh, that's a big one. Let's take it over to the other side. And inhale, raising up. Exhale, over to the other side. Again, we're keeping it open. If I'm looking back, I'm looking like through my armpit, under my bicep. And release, coming back up. We're gonna go back to the other side. Again, sitting up nice and tall, breathing up and reaching over. Releasing out of that, switching one more time over to the other side. Breathe in and exhale. And release, coming up. Let's take both feet wide, so you're in a straddle. We're going to inhale, raising up. Exhale and lean over to one side. This time you can twist and take the body toward the leg, so the stretch is actually on the hamstrings this time around. And again, as you lean forward, you don't want to get too crumpled over too quickly. That won't help you in the beginning stages if you are very tight there. I'm kind of past that space, so I can lean a little bit more, dropping the head. But if you can't, this is a better space for you to be in. Keeping that chest open, you're twisting and reaching forward. You're probably going to feel some stretch up this way and back here. And let's inhale, coming up. And release. Breathe in. Twist and reach over. Inhale, rising up. And now as we go to the center, we want to, again, lead with that chest. So leading forward, keeping the chest up and open, smiling. This is the beauty of having your own home practice. You don't have to worry about looking silly to anyone else. You can just be you and enjoy doing yoga the way you enjoy doing yoga. Inhale, coming up and releasing that. Inhale, reaching over to the other side once more. Twisting down to that way. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, release. Inhale, rise up. And twist, exhale, release. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, reaching forward. Inhale, release, coming up. Gently bringing those legs forward. Ooh, shake them out. That might have been a big stretch for you. Let's put the bottoms of the feet together. Doesn't matter if they're far away from you or close together, whichever you prefer. We're going to inhale, raise up. And exhale, reaching forward again, keeping the chest big and open. We don't want to be here with this pose. You can lean forward. Again, see my chest is still open. I'm pushing the shoulder blades back, leaning forward farther with the hips. And then I can drop my gaze down to my feet, aligning my spine straight over the crown. And release, coming up. Stretch those legs out in front of you. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, reaching forward. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, open. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, and exhale, open those hands. Lovely. Let's move around onto our back. Remember to roll down the spine, placing those hands at your side, shoulder blades underneath of you, feet firmly on the ground. We're going to inhale, pushing the hips to the sky. Bridge, most commonly called. You can pull the shoulder blades underneath of you as well. Exhale and roll down. Inhale, pushing up to the sky. Exhale, rolling down. One gentle vertebrae at a time. Inhale, push up. If you want a little bit more, you can try to clasp your hands underneath of you and touch the pinkies to the ground. I'm not very good at it, but I try it. And exhale and release. And the reason I do that is because I have compassion with myself to be in the space that I am, and I'm in a decent space with my yoga, and I'm still growing, and I'll never be the perfect, best, top dog yoga, and I don't want to be that person. I want to always have room to grow in my practice. Inhale, stretching everything up, exhaling, wiggle feet, wiggle fingers, and release. We're going to put the bottoms of the feet together, opening the knees out, palms up for receiving. This is called reclined butterfly. Let those knees just open up and sink into this pose for a moment here. Inhale, bringing the knees together, feet flat on the floor, crossing the right ankle over the left knee, picking the bottom foot off the ground, threading that needle through your figure four, and stretching the hip a little bit deeper. And release. Uncrossing those feet. Putting the left ankle over the right knee, tucking through. Releasing that, uncrossing the legs, putting the feet mat width apart, opening those arms out to the side and dropping the knees to the right. Inhale, bring those knees up, take them over to the other side. Inhale, knees back to the center. Hug those knees into the chest. Rock side to side. Placing the feet on the ground, rolling over to one side, and coming back up to a seated position. Traditionally, this is where Shavasana would be, but today I would like to just do something different for all of you. Coming to that seated position, hands up, palms up for receiving. Let's just close those eyes for a moment. And in your head, I would like you to repeat, I am safe, I am loved, I am cherished. I am safe, I am loved, I am cherished. I am safe, I am loved, I am cherished. I am safe, I am loved, I am cherished. I am safe, I am loved, I am cherished. I am safe, I am loved, I am cherished. I am safe, I am loved, I am cherished. Breathe in, reaching the hands above the head. And exhale down to heart center. Namaste means to see the light in not only yourself, but in others. Breathing in and exhale. Namaste.